Have you ever had that feeling, like English is some kind of secret code,
Mm-hmm.
one that only like certain people really get? You spend all this time with textbooks, you memorize lists of words.
For grammar rules, the vocabulary drill.
Exactly. And then you step into a real conversation and it's just whoosh. Like everyone's speaking a different language almost. It's so frustrating, isn't it?
It really is.
Okay, so let's try and unpack that a bit because most English lessons, they focus so much on those, rigid rules or just cramming vocab.
Yeah, the building blocks, but not how they fit together in, like, real life.
Right. But real conversations, they're alive, they're messy puzzles. People don't always say every single sound perfectly clear. They smush words together, they shorten things.
And then they throw in slang or idioms.
Oh, the idioms. Yeah, they make English feel totally mysterious sometimes. Like you're
Uh-huh.
missing a key piece of the puzzle. It's like trying to hear a song, but only getting, I don't know, random notes, never the actual tune.
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is that today we're trying to go way beyond that textbook stuff.
Okay.
We want to look at the why. What's underneath it all? What makes English sound um, so natural, so fluid? And honestly, what makes it interesting when you hear native speakers just chatting.
Right.
So our mission, really, for this deep dive is to equip you, the listener, with those insights,
Yeah.
the kind of DNA of natural English.
The secret code.
Exactly.
Great.
Cracking that code so you can understand and speak English, not just, correctly according to the rules, but authentically
Right.
with some flair.
Authentically, I like that. Getting beyond just being correct.
It's about unlocking a richer, more vibrant way of communicating, making it more interesting for you and the people you talk to.
Okay, so here's where it gets really captivating, I think. We're going to on this journey, right? Explore how English actually flows.
Mm-hmm. The hidden patterns.
Yeah, the shortcuts, the rhythm, almost like the music of it. The rhythm section, maybe.
That's a great analogy.
And then we'll get practical, give you actual tips, strategies, things you can do to shake off that textbook sound.
Right, to sound more like you've been speaking it forever.
Hopefully. And finally, we'll dive into some just fantastic words. Words that aren't just functional, but make English fun, expressive, interesting.
Absolutely.
Like, think about what's up. Literally, it makes no sense. What is up?
Vertical direction, yeah.
Right. But it just means hello or how are you? Imagine trying to translate that word for word.
Total confusion.
Or break a leg. You say it to an actor.
And you definitely don't mean it literally.
God, no. It just means good luck. It's an idiom. So why should you, listening right now, care about all this stuff, these little details?
Right.
Because understanding them, it's like a shortcut. You feel more informed, more confident. You're less likely to get overwhelmed by fast speech.
It leads to those aha moments.
Exactly. Those moments where it all clicks. So this deep dive, it's not just about learning words. We're hoping it'll fundamentally shift how you think about English, how you learn it, listen to it, speak it, make it way more interesting forever.
That's the goal. So if we try and connect this to the bigger picture of language,
Yeah.
real English, the kind people actually speak, it isn't just a list of words strung together, like beads on a string.
Right. Not just word 1, word 2, word 3.
No, it's much more dynamic. It's a system. Sounds, rhythms, meanings, they all interconnect, they weave together. It really is like music, a complex piece.
Okay.
And today, we're sort of pulling back the curtain, peeking behind the scenes to see the fundamental notes, the rhythm underneath, the subtle ways those notes link up to make it sound so seamless, so natural.
Understanding the flow, not just the words.
Exactly. Recognizing the pattern. That's the absolute foundation for getting to authentic English. It makes everything else much more, interesting.
Absolutely. And when you start listening for those patterns, one of the first things, it's almost everywhere in natural English, is contractions.
Oh, definitely.
It seems tiny, right? But saying I'm instead of I am, it instantly makes your English sounds smoother, more conversational.
Hugely so. Think about it. Native speakers almost never say I am
Mhm.
in casual talk. It's always I'm.
Or don't for do not, I'll for I will.
Exactly. And it's not just, being lazy or saving a tiny bit of effort.
No.
Well, it's a partly efficiency, sure, but it's also a natural thing the voice does. Sounds tend to merge, find the easiest path. It's how spoken language works.
So when you use contractions, you're signaling
Yeah.
that you're comfortable.
Yeah, you're signaling a natural cadence. Your speech feels less stiff, less like you're reading aloud, more in tune with that organic rhythm we talked about.
It's a subtle signal, but it makes a big difference in how authentic you sound.
A huge difference. And interestingly, knowing when people don't use them is also revealing.
Oh, yeah. Like when,
Well, sometimes someone might say, I am going, or he did do it,
mm.
very deliberately, for emphasis, right? Or surprise, or even annoyance.
Okay. So not using the contraction can add meaning too.
Exactly. So
Mm.
understanding contractions isn't just about sounding smoother, it's also about catching those nuances, those emotional shades, which again makes understanding spoken English much more interesting.
That makes sense. Okay. So contractions. What else is part of this secret code?
Well, this raises a really interesting question, I think. Why do we pepper our speech with words that it tells, oh, well, on the surface, they don't seem to add any actual information.
You mean like fillers?
Exactly, fillers. Words like, well, so, like, actually, they're everywhere in spoken English.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think maybe. Or actually, I saw that too.
Precisely. And while they don't really change the literal meaning much, they do a lot of important work, often subconsciously.
Like what? Just buying time to think?
That's part of it, definitely. They give you a crucial moment to process your thoughts without just stopping dead, avoiding awkward silence. But they're also like social lubricants. Think about, it's not just filler. It's often a way to check in with the listener, build a bit of rapport, like, are you with me?
Creating that shared understanding.
Exactly. Or, well, used skillfully, it can soften a disagreement, makes it sound less blunt, more thoughtful.
Right. Instead of just saying no, you might say, well, I'm not so sure.
Precisely. They help manage the flow of conversation, signal you're not quite done speaking, even if you pause. They're tiny tools for connection.
Like seasoning in food, you said earlier, makes it flavorful.
That's a perfect way to put it. They add texture, humanity, rhythm. Without them, speech can sound robotic, too formal, maybe even a bit, abrupt.
Yeah, like someone just firing facts at you.
Right. So they don't just help you think, they signal engagement to the listener. They make the whole interaction feel more human, more connected, and definitely more interesting.
Okay, fillers. Got it. Now, what about, oh, the ones that always used to confuse me, phrasal verbs?
Ah, yes. The secret handshake.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good name for them. Because they're everywhere, but they're so tricky.
They really are. So just to be clear, we're talking about a verb plus a preposition or an adverb. Sometimes both.
Like give up or run into.
Exactly. And the meaning is almost never what you'd expect from the individual words.
Right, like run into someone doesn't mean you literally crashed into them while jogging.
No, it just means you met them unexpectedly, by chance.
Or give up, not handing something over but quitting.
Precisely. And it's fascinating how those tiny extra words up, into, out, over completely change the verb's meaning.
It's wild, and they are absolutely everywhere in casual English.
Pervasive. And that's why there's such a stumbling block for learners, because you often can't translate them directly. The logic isn't obvious.
Yeah, there are so many, and the meanings feel kind of random sometimes.
They often require understanding the context. So learning them isn't just about adding words to your vocabulary list. It's fundamental for actually understanding everyday chat.
It really unlocks a deeper level of comprehension, doesn't it? Makes the language feel less opaque.
Absolutely. You start understanding why someone might look up a word but look a report over, or while you take off your coat, but a plane takes off. Those subtle shifts are key to making English dynamic and, well, interesting.
Okay, phrasal verbs.
Yeah.
The secret handshake. What else is in the code?
Well, building right on that idea of non-literal meaning, we have idioms, another huge part of making English colorful.
Right, like hit the books or under the weather.
Exactly. These are fixed expressions where the overall meaning has nothing to do with the individual words. Hit the books means study hard, not physically assault your textbooks.
Thankfully.
And under the weather means feeling sick, not standing outside during a storm.
Got it.
Idioms are like little cultural snapshots. They capture a shared understanding or an experience or an emotion in a really concise way, often humorous, often memorable.
So they reflect the culture.
Very much so. They reflect wit, imagination, shared history sometimes. Think about spill the beans.
Meaning reveal a secret.
Right. Apparently, it might come from ancient Greek voting, using beans,
Yeah.
spilling them revealed the vote early. Knowing that makes it stick, right? Makes it more
Right.
interesting.
Yeah, that is cool.
So using idioms well means you're not just forming correct sentences, you're tapping into that cultural fabric. You're adding layers of vividness, personality.
Things that plain literal language just can't do.
Exactly. They bring a richness, a depth that makes conversations engaging. It's often what distinguishes a truly fluent natural speaker, makes their English way more interesting.
Okay, so we have contractions, fillers, phrasal verbs, idioms. What about just the way English sounds? The flow.
Ah, yes. Building powerfully on that idea of rhythm and personality,
Yeah.
we absolutely have to talk about the music of English. Linking sounds.
Linking sounds.
Yeah. In natural speech, words aren't spoken like separate bricks.
Right. No, they flow together.
Exactly. They connect, sounds link up. Sometimes small sounds get dropped or changed, all to make it flow more smoothly, more efficiently.
And that's what creates that flow-like music feeling.
That's a huge part of it. Think about, what are you going to do?
Which becomes, what you gonna do?
Right. And crucially, that's not bad grammar. It's not sloppy.
No.
No, it's a natural linguistic process. Things like assimilation, where sounds change to be more like their neighbors, like the T and you making a she,
Ah.
or elision, where sounds just get dropped, like going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna.
Have to becomes hafta. Cup of becomes kupa.
Precisely. It's like the language itself is taking these little shortcuts to keep the rhythm going, to maintain the beat.
That's fascinating.
And listening for these patterns is absolutely critical. It helps you understand fast speech so much better. Otherwise, it can just sound like a blur.
Yeah, like a wall of sound.
Exactly. And on the flip side, trying to speak this way yourself, letting those sounds link naturally, it makes you sound more fluent, more natural, more confident, almost instantly.
It's about feeling the rhythm in your mouth.
Yes. Understanding those shortcuts our brains and mouths take to make speech feel effortless. And, you guessed it, more interesting.
So wrapping up this first part,
Mm.
mastering these patterns, it's not just about memorizing rules from a book.
Not at all.
It's about noticing them, listening for them, trying to imitate them, practicing them.
It's a shift from theory to practice, from knowing about the language to actually engaging with it.
Yeah, a living, breathing engagement. Okay, so that's the foundation. And that leads us perfectly into the next bit, right?
Yeah.
The practical stuff, how to actually do this.
Exactly. The tricks and techniques to sound natural, confident, and, importantly, interesting.
Right.
Because knowledge is great, but it's most valuable when you can actually, understand it deeply and then apply it.
Makes sense.
So this raises that important question for you listening now. How do you take all these fascinating ideas, contractions, fillers, phrasal verbs, idioms, linking, and actually weave them into your own speaking, your own listening?
Yeah, how do you go from knowing about gonna to actually saying gonna naturally and understanding it when you hear it?
Exactly. How do you move beyond just recognizing it to sounding natural, articulate, expressive?
Yeah.
instead of feeling like you're reciting lines from a textbook.
Okay, what's the secret?
Well, the key, I truly believe, is active engagement. It's not passive. It means consistent, deliberate listening, focused imitation, and strategic, even playful practice.
Building that muscle memory.
Precisely, for your mouth and your mind.
Okay, so where do we start? Active engagement. Does it start with listening?
I think active listening is the absolute bedrock.
Yeah. And we're not talking about just like having the TV on in the background while you cook dinner.
Definitely not. Not just background noise. We mean consciously, actively immersing yourself in real English every day, if possible.
Podcasts, YouTube, TV shows, movies.
Perfect resources because they expose you constantly to that natural rhythm, those fillers, the contractions, the slang we mentioned.
But the key is active listening. What does that actually mean?
It means really tuning in, paying specific attention to how things sound. Your goal is to actively catch those common phrases. You know what I mean? How did you becomes did ya?
Listening like a detective.
Yeah, exactly. You're training your ear to recognize those high-frequency patterns, the building blocks of natural conversation as they happen.
And that makes it less overwhelming.
Hugely. You start to hear the structure within the flow. It makes the whole experience of listening less like deciphering code and more like understanding music, and definitely more interesting.
Okay, active listening is step one. What's next?
Well, building directly on that active listening, shadowing is an incredibly powerful technique. And often underused, I think.
Shadowing, like following someone.
Sort of. It's a neurological exercise, really.
Yeah.
You take a short bit of speech from a native speaker, a sentence, maybe a short exchange.
Okay.
You play it, and then immediately you repeat it out loud. And you try really hard to match everything. Their speed, their intonation, the emphasis, the rhythm.
So if they say, I can't believe you did that.
You try to copy that exact stress on can't. And did that. Notice how the words flow together. No awkward gaps.
Why is that so powerful?
Because it kind of bypasses your conscious grammar checker.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, instead of thinking about rules, it directly trains your vocal muscles, your mouth, tongue, throat, to make those natural patterns. It builds that muscle memory we talked about.
So you feel the language.
Exactly. You feel the rhythm as much as you hear it. Your brain and mouth learn the dance of English without getting stuck on analyzing every step.
Any tips for starting?
Start short and clear. Focus maybe just on the melody. First the rise and fall, then add speed. It really is a game changer for sounding more fluent and, again, more interesting.
Okay, shadowing. Got it. Now, what about using those phrasal verbs and idioms we learned about? How do we actually make them ours?
Right, because just memorizing lists isn't enough, is it?
Definitely not. They just sit there in your head.
The absolute key, the trick, is to move beyond memorizing and start using them actively, regularly. Weave them into your own sentences, your own thoughts, your own stories.
Consistent application.
That's what makes them automatic. It's how they stop feeling like foreign phrases and become just part of how you talk.
It's like learning to ride a bike, you said. You can read the manual.
But you only get it when you hop on and start pedaling. Feel the wobbles, find the balance.
Right, so the more you use hit the books or under the weather.
The more they become yours.
Yeah.
So if you're tired from studying, don't just say, I'm tired. Try thinking or saying, man, I'm wiped out. Got to hit the books hard again tomorrow.
Or after a rainy day, feeling a bit under the weather.
Exactly. Challenge yourself. Put them in emails, journal entries, even just talking to yourself. It transforms English from this static puzzle into a living language you actively shape and personalize.
Making it your own. Making it interesting for you.
Precisely.
Okay, usage is key. What about small talk? Does that actually help? It seems so small.
Small talk. It might seem trivial, right? Superficial, even.
Yeah, like nice weather we're having.
But I want to argue it's actually a crucial social lubricant and an invaluable training ground for fluency.
Really? How?
Think about those casual exchanges. What's up? How's it going? Catch the game last night. They seem simple, but they force you to respond quickly, intuitively.
Without overthinking.
Exactly. You practice using fillers naturally, linking words without planning complex sentences. It's low-stakes practice for really common patterns.
Like warming up before the main workout.
That's a great way to put it. You're building conversational muscle memory, which builds confidence for deeper talks later.
And it helps you connect with people, too, presumably.
Absolutely. Navigating social situations, initiating contact, showing interest, all vital. It makes the interaction and your English feel easier, more natural, more interesting. It's not about the topic's depth, it's the ease of the flow.
All right, so don't underestimate small talk. That's good advice.
Hmm.
So bringing all these techniques together, what's the big takeaway message?
Well, maybe the most important message is don't be afraid to mess up. Exactly. Do not let the fear of getting it wrong stop you from trying.
Because English is weird sometimes, full of exceptions.
It absolutely is. And guess what?
Uh-huh.
Native speakers, you, me, everyone, we trip over words too. We mispronounce things, mix up phrases.
All the time. It happens.
It's just part of using language.
Hmm.
The goal isn't perfection. It's not about sounding like a dictionary.
It's about communication, right? Being understood, sounding natural, confident.
That's it. And the only way to get there is to practice, to experiment, to risk making mistakes.
Because every mistake is just learning.
It's feedback, not failure. Every time you try, you get better, your confidence grows, your fluency improves. It's an interesting journey, not a test you have to ace.
Right. So by doing all this listening actively, shadowing, using the phrases, doing small talk, and not being afraid, English starts to feel different.
It transforms from that intimidating puzzle.
To just a language you can join in on, a conversation you can be part of.
Exactly. It becomes something you actively participate in, enjoy, and make incredibly interesting, which leads us perfectly into adding that extra sparkle.
Yeah. The fun words. Okay, let's peel back one more layer here. Because English isn't just about, conveying information clearly.
No, not at all.
It's like this amazing treasure chest, right? Full of words that are just playful, expressive, sometimes really quirky.
Absolutely. Words with real personality.
And this is where English gets really interesting, I think, where you can let your own personality shine through. Make the language yours.
Using these kinds of words definitely makes conversations more dynamic, more memorable.
Yeah, it helps you stand out. So what kind of words are we talking about? Give us an example.
Well, what's truly fascinating is how a single word can capture something really rich and complex. Take serendipity.
Serendipity. It sounds nice. What does it mean exactly?
The basic definition is like a happy accident, a pleasant surprise you weren't looking for, a fortunate discovery by chance.
Okay, like finding money on the street.
Could be,
Yeah.
but it often implied something more delightful, more meaningful maybe. Like imagine you're traveling, feeling a bit lost, and you just happen to stumble upon this amazing little bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out to have that rare book you've been searching for ages. That's not just luck, that feels like serendipity.
Ah, okay. That delightful, unplanned discovery.
Exactly. Using a word like that, it does more than just state a fact. It adds poetry, charm, sophistication, even.
It makes you sound thoughtful.
It does. It shows a depth beyond just basic words.
Mm.
It makes your speech more engaging, more interesting. It invites the listener into that feeling of wonder.
Serendipity. I like it. Okay, what's another one?
How about flabbergasted?
Flabbergasted. I love that word.
Right. It sounds like what it means.
It really does. Surprised is fine, but flabbergasted. You just feel the shock in the word itself.
Exactly. It means extremely surprised or shocked, utterly astonished.
So you wouldn't just be flabbergasted if your bus was late.
Probably not. But if you opened your door and there was an elephant on your porch,
Okay, yeah. Flabbergasted, or if you won the lottery.
definitely flabbergasted then. Using words like this, these really expressive words, they just inject so much energy and emotion.
Turns a plain sentence into something vivid.
Makes your stories more compelling, more memorable,
Mm.
way more interesting than just saying, I was very surprised.
Right.
It conveys the intensity.
Flabbergasted. Adding it to my list. What about newer words? Does
Yeah.
English keep getting interesting?
Oh, absolutely. Language is always evolving, which, if we connect that to the bigger picture, gives us words like binge watch.
Yes. Very modern word.
Totally. It's a perfect example of language adapting to technology and lifestyle changes. It's a neologism, a new word.
Meaning watching tons of episodes of a show all at once.
Right. In one sitting, usually. We binge watched that whole season last weekend. You hear it everywhere now.
Chats about TV, streaming.
It's casual. It's current. And using words like this shows you're tuned in to how people actually talk now.
Makes your English feel relevant, not stuck in the past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It feels authentic and interesting
Yeah.
because it reflects shared contemporary experiences. It shows you're part of the current conversation.
Okay, binge watch. That's a useful one. What else adds sparkle?
Well, this is where English gets really playful, I think. Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia, words that sound like the thing they describe.
Precisely. Like the buzz of a bee, the crash of cymbals, the sizzle of bacon.
Oh, yeah. With those words, you don't just hear the word, you almost hear the sound itself.
It's incredibly impactful, isn't it? Instead of the bee flew by saying the bee buzzed past, it just puts you right there.
Or the plate fell versus the plate went crash. Much more vivid.
Exactly. These words add this amazing sensory quality. Makes your speech engaging, fun, creates instant mental pictures.
Makes things more memorable and more interesting.
Definitely. They often cut across languages, too, because the sound itself carries the meaning.
Okay, onomatopoeia, buzz, crash, sizzle, fun. What about slang? Is that part of making English interesting?
It absolutely can be. But this raises an important question.
Uh-oh, what's the catch?
The catch is context and appropriateness. Slang is great for making your English sound fresh, current, connected.
Like using lit for amazing or hang out for spending time together.
Exactly. Those kinds of words and expressions evolve really quickly. But the key, the absolute key, is using them effectively, appropriately.
Meaning not using super casual slang in a job interview.
Precisely. You need to understand the social nuance. Who are you talking to? What's the situation?
Right. Using slang well shows you get the culture, but using it badly can make you sound weird or out of place.
Exactly. Part of making your English interesting is that social intelligence, knowing what to say, but also how and when.
So listen for how others use it.
That's a great strategy. If you hear people you trust use it in a certain context, maybe try it out. But if you're unsure, maybe stick to more standard language. It's about being authentic, not just trendy.
Good advice. Context is everything. So wrapping up this section then, the real secret to lively, interesting English.
It isn't just knowing lots of words.
No, it's about using them creatively, missing things up. Expressive words, idioms, maybe some appropriate slang.
Yeah, transforming those textbook sentences into real, dynamic conversations.
And the more playful and curious you are, the more you experiment.
More fun the whole process becomes. It becomes a joy of discovery, making your English truly interesting for yourself. Hashtag tag, 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 chag, outro.
So what does this all really mean for you on your English journey? We've covered a lot today. We went on this deep dive, right? Explored how English actually flows.
For the basics like contractions and fillers.
Yeah, the efficiency, the humanity, and then those trickier bits, phrasal verbs, idioms.
The secret handshakes and cultural snapshots.
Exactly, and that underlying music, the linking sound.
Right. Then we talked about how to actually practice like a pro.
Active listening, shadowing.
Using those new expressions, embracing small talk.
And crucially, not being afraid of mistakes, accepting they're part of learning.
Absolutely.
And finally, we looked at how to add that sparkle, making your words sing with unique, expressive, interesting vocabulary.
Yeah. So ultimately, this whole deep dive, it's been about experiencing language, hasn't it? Not just studying it from afar.
Totally. Making English feel more approachable, more empowering, and honestly, just a lot more interesting.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, knowledge is most valuable when it's understood and then applied consistently.
Right. Daily engagement.
For English, that means really engaging with it every day. Don't just learn these patterns and words. Play with them.
Be curious.
Yes. Listen actively. Repeat what you hear. Imitate the sounds, the rhythm. Shadow. Practice small talk.
Oh.
And please, don't shy away from mistakes. They're your best teachers.
Every time you speak, even if you stumble.
You're training your brain, training your mouth, getting them in sync with that natural English rhythm. Language is alive. English is meant to be lived, experienced.
Not just studied. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day makes a huge difference over time.
Monumental. It transforms your ability.
Okay, so here's the challenge then. A concrete thing for you, our listener, to do today.
Let's hear it.
Try picking just one thing we talked about. One new idiom, maybe. One phrasal verb, or one of those fun words like serendipity or
And
flabbergasted.
even binge watch.
Yeah, and just use it
Yeah.
consciously in a conversation. Maybe write it in an email or a journal.
Just one small step.
Exactly. Keep practicing, keep listening, keep speaking.
Yeah.
You will be amazed, genuinely amazed, how these small, consistent steps add up. How English changes from something you study.
Into something you just live and
Yay.
enjoy.
Absolutely.
And, if we connect this to the really big picture, this journey towards natural, engaging English,
Yeah.
it's not just about sounding like a native speaker. It's actually something much deeper, I think.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It's about unlocking new ways of thinking, gaining the ability to express your unique self with more nuance, more authenticity.
Connecting with people better.
Exactly. Connecting with a wider world on a deeper level. When English stops being just a tool you use and becomes, well, a natural extension of who you are,
Mm.
what new perspectives might open up for you? What new interesting stories will you be able to tell? What connections will you forge?
That's a great thought to end on. It's not just about language.
It's a personal transformation, a truly interesting one.